I'm gonna let that bot suck you off, and I'm gonna watch. You're all mine now. Okay, well. Hey guys, hope you're all having a motherfucking great day. We're not gonna waste a bunch of time here in the intro with BS or whatever, but you do need to know two things. One, this is primarily a shooter game, meaning if you can hit your shots and you're good in a gunfight, you're likely gonna win every fight or most of your fights, even if you use no abilities, and it doesn't matter what shell you use. Just keep that in mind. Also, we're gonna be making 3 lists in this video. For the people that are super duper new and don't even know what the characters are or what they do, we're going to start with an overview of the whole cast while making an easiest shell to pick up and play tier list. You know, just out of the box, grab them, run your first few games with them, how easy are they to use, how much value are they going to give. Then, since I won't have to worry about explaining each character, we'll quickly go over and make a tier list for shells when they're working in a squad environment, and then a separate list for when they're working in a solo environment. Because if you didn't know, and a lot of people are missing this game has separate matchmaking for squads and solo players, with the exception being Rook. Rook queues solo, but he queues into squads. But if you're a normal character, normal shell, and you queue up solo and make sure squad fill is off, you'll get other solo players. And there's some people that actually don't know that. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Let's get into the overview of each character, and as we talk about each character, we'll put them on a list of easiest to most difficult to just pick up and play and get value out. This is the Giga Chat of the game, right? His 2 passives are a jump boost. When you press jump while in the air, you will boost forward. Very good for controlling the distance of a gunfight. And then he has a fast sprint. By double pressing your sprint button, you will basically do a super sprint, like a tactical sprint from Call of Duty or something. His basic ability is a deployable shield on his arm that is incredible in team fights. And it's good for calling pushes or even protecting revives. His ultimate ability has him turn on some shoulder rocket things that will launch rockets at a target that he shoots at for a short amount of time. The damage is pathetic and should not be relied on, but the rockets do immobilize the people that it hits, so that's its main purpose. This should be a very intuitive kit to understand, but the shield has a start and end delay that can get you killed if you misuse it. Along with the ultimate being very finicky, I'm gonna stick him in actually a medium tier for use.
I'm Loot Goblin.
I'll let you loot goblin these nuts. Ha ha! I'm running in.
Downed him. Oh, where? Oh, you guys, okay. Start up.
Down.
I followed and I can't get up.
I'm going for him. Okay, that's actually pretty nasty, being able to jump up there with my shield and just fucking stand there. That's actually kind of fucking... Alright, behind me, gentlemen. There he is to the left. Two of them.
Combos. Oh. Oh, damn.
What are they supposed to fucking do, bro?
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go.
The movement character. 2 passives are an improved slide for breaking ankles in the middle of a fight, and a double jump. Like a real double jump. I know Destroyer kind of had one, but when she double jumps, she actually does get a second jump in the air. Great for reaching rooftops, gaining good position over your opponents, all that fun stuff. Her basic ability is like an arm cannon. Its primary function is to boop enemies, you know, for your Overwatch players. Or it basically just knocks people around. It doesn't really do all that much damage, but it's really good at knocking enemies out of cover, disrupting revives that you know are happening but you can't quite see them, or just generally messing with their flow or positioning if you launch it into a group of people. Her ultimate ability is quite simple. It makes her fast, and she generates practically no heat while it's active. So you get nearly unrestricted movement to flank, jump on top of buildings, run around, do whatever you want to do. Or chase people down, honestly. Similar to Destroyer, while she may have an easily understandable kit, actually using it to your benefit may prove difficult. Mainly because her double jump and slide generate an insane amount of heat before you get any of the heat capacity upgrades or cooldown upgrades or whatever. So it could maybe do more harm than good. We'll stick her in medium difficulty.
Oh, all three of them are here.
Yeah.
On me.
Let's push up left side hall. There you go.
Oh.
2 down?
2 down, yep.
Those were the
55
only
for you.
2 I hit.
No, there's more. There's another one.
Yeah, there's one more. I think he's full.
Nah, I cracked him.
On the move.
I got them all.
Oh, there you go. Bro, the 2.
I gotta
got
finish
the
in
2
case
so
there's-
fucking low.
In case they have self revives.
You just want the kill credit. I understand.
I can smell you.
All about that info. 2 passives include a nice trail behind an enemy once you crack their shields, help you finish off an injured opponent. And then when you perform a finishing strike on an enemy, like when they're downed and you come up and hold the interact button on them, it will actually ping their surviving squad mate, making it very nice to clean up fights with confidence and finish it quickly. There's also a second part of this passive where if an enemy player pings you, you get a notification. But I'm gonna be real here, in my entire time playing Recon, that didn't happen one time for me. So I guess it's there, but don't expect much value out of that. Her basic ability is a little spider drone that you throw out that will chase down anyone it sees and then explode. This actually does do an okay amount of damage, but the delay in the explosion means anyone actually paying attention can just back away from it and they won't get hit by it. It's also really finicky on actually tracking the enemy and it gets stuck a lot. Her ultimate is a massive AoE scan that puts red markers on any hostile in the AoE. And I did say hostile, not player. This will ping bots too. So until you get more experience with the game and this character, using her ultimate in the middle of a POI is basically just going to give you 11 pings and you're not going to know if it's actually useful or not. But there are situations where this ult can be very, very useful. So with the spider drone being very finicky, and with the ultimate not being something you could super rely on until you get more used to the game, I'm going to have to put her in definitely a hard tier. You're required to get finishes on people to get value out of her passive. You need to get cracks on enemy shields to get value out of her other passive. You need to be very much an active player. You need to be confident. You need to be actually making things happen to get any sort of value out of this character. So definitely putting in the hard category.
I'm gonna go on the other side.
Broken. Oh! Oh my god, bro! Killed one, full killed one.
Oh,
Down. Is there another one? Yep. That's you.
Runner threat detected. Watch out. Seeker deployed.
Running up on us, running up on us.
Where are you?
Sneaky emo boy. This will be our first character with only one passive, and any character with only one passive does get an additional kind of active ability called a trait ability. And Assassin's passive is anytime he's in smoke, he goes invisible. That could be your smoke, an enemy smoke, the grenade smoke, any smoke, you just go invisible. And his trait ability, which kind of replaces the second passive, is if you jump off of any sort of height, like even as high as a box, you can dive into the ground and release a smoke cloud, which paired with your passive means you then go invisible. His basic ability is just to go invisible. You're kind of seeing a pattern with this character. So you don't need any smoke for the ability, you just go invisible. If you've played Halo, this is kind of similar to the active camouflage. You're not entirely invisible, you're just very hard to see. Especially when sitting still or sitting in a dark corner, you're gonna get a lot of ambushes off on people, or getting free snipes or whatever. Assassin's ultimate is to throw a disc that kind of skips along the ground like you're skipping a rock on a lake, and it leaves a smoke cloud at each skip spot. So basically just a big line of smoke clouds. Great for revives, great for extracting, great for rotating, pushing across the open, panicking when you get shot at, just throwing it at the ground. It's probably the strongest and most flexible ability in this entire game when used correctly. So yeah, smoke is always extremely strong in games like this. This is going to be our very first easy character to play. I don't think there should be any argument on that. Outright value, like I said, free revives, free extracts, free pushes, free ambushes, free escapes. Like, this character has 1,000,001 different ways to get out of a bad situation and to turn it into a good situation. Very good, but also just very intuitive and easy to use. There's sure some skill expression with like navigating in and out of smoke with his invisibility, but he kind of just provides value. Downed. Oh, I got two! I got two!
I'm dead.
I'm popping my invisibility. I'm gonna try to get a snipe pick on one of them. Downed one. One tap.
You see where the other one is?
He's self-resing. He's self-resing.
Hurt. Got him.
Nice. I got the guy self-resing. Oh, another team, another team, another team. I need help. They're pinning me. They're pinning me. I need help.
I'm gonna get up top and get advantage. Oh, yeah, there's on the top over there. My bad. Coming.
I need help, brother. I've been pinned.
One down.
Nice. Healing, and I'm going back in it.
USC reinforcements incoming.
Cracked.
One tap on me. I think they're both.
Okay. Down one.
Nice.
Down, all dead, all dead. I'm gonna finish so we
Good shit.
finish in case they have self-reses.
20 minutes.
Woo!
I need a medic bag.
The man with a pocket full of sunshine and also a pocket full of very cute drones. Triage also only has one passive, and it's a little complicated, but you'll get to understand it. If he and an ally have med drones on them, which is one of his abilities we'll get to, whenever he consumes a buffing consumable, like something that increases his firewall or hardware or whatever it may be, that buff is also shared to the teammate with the med drone on them. That's it. That's the passive. His trait ability is a battery overcharge. It's very simple. You hit this button and you generate more heat. So like by sprinting and doing heat activities, you generate more heat, but your guns do more damage. That's it. His basic ability is to throw a med drone. So like I mentioned with his passive, basically your job with this ability is just to make sure everyone on your squad always has a med drone on them. These aren't time limited. They're limited by how much they heal. So if you throw in somebody that's nearly dead, it's going to heal them a lot, but then it'll die. The drone will die. But if you throw this on somebody with full HP, it'll just sit there and exist infinitely until it uses up the healing. And then you can kind of pair that with your passive to then apply buffing consumables to your entire team by just eating it yourself. His ultimate is a long-range revive. It does require some spool up and charge up, but once you shoot an ally with it, they are instantly revived. This has a small AoE, so you can actually revive two teammates if they're sitting on top of each other. Or it also technically EMPs enemies if you hit them with it, but I don't advise you going after enemies with this unless you're just joking around. You're very exposed and you're just going to get gunned down before you even get it off. Despite his passive sounding a little complicated, Triage is very simple and easy to play and very simple to get a lot of value out of just by healing your team and letting them heal up the chip damage they take from the AI and stuff like that. If you're good at staying alive in fights, you'll even get a lot of value out of his ultimate just by existing, and if your teammate goes down, you shoot them and they're right back up. So yeah, then on top of that, his trait ability, you just hit the button before you take a gunfight and you're gonna do more damage. Very simple character. A lot of value. Putting him in easy.
Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders.
Hurt bad, hurt bad. Oh, left side. Oh, we got sandwiched.
I got, oh shit.
At the right.
Med drone out.
The guy's on our side of the building.
I'm there. Coming up on me, thirsting.
Oh, he's thirsty. Fuck, I didn't have eyes on him. I wish you could stay in the open actually for that. We're gonna get thirsted. Fuck.
One's invisible.
One's down up top. Healing.
Dished him.
Nice. Another one down. Second one's back my Joe.
Fuck. Ah, I missed every shot.
I downed him. Oh, he's resing. He's not resing. He's not resing.
Feeling better.
That guy's self-resed.
On our right, on our right.
Yeah, that's the self-res guy.
He's pushing.
Found.
Down.
This is it. This is the year I get my penis back from that dolphin who stole it.
The Loot Goblin. Another one passive ability shell. Her passive is increased weapon handling and basic ability recharge rate based on how full her backpack is. So yeah, loot hoarding is encouraged. Her trait ability is Loot Goggles. This is what it replaces her having a second passive. You can actually see containers through walls, and the color of the container will match the highest rarity of loot inside it. This is really good for scanning a POI and going after the best loot, or saving time when you're looting bot containers, just going after the blue and green ones, that kind of thing. It will also show you players, but this will not show you through walls. So this basically boils down to seeing invisible assassins or seeing people through smoke. Applicable. This is her only real combat ability, so definitely use it, but not super duper impactful. Her basic ability is a grappling hook, and this is probably the most fun thing to use in the entire game. It's very simple, especially considering you don't actually need to grapple onto something. You could just fire it in the air and it will pull you. It's crazy. It's amazing fun. Her ultimate ability is a drone you can fly around. Think Crypto from Apex, Raptor from DeltaForce. It's basically an information tool. It does have a little gimmick where it can loot things. Like if you shoot loot, it will have its own little inventory. It will store the loot. And if you shoot a player with it, they will drop their highest rarity loot. So you can kind of troll people by shooting them and then immediately shooting the loot they drop to kind of steal it from them. But pretty much every player is going to immediately shoot your drone out of the sky, and they can also just look at the ground and pick up the loot that you made them drop. So it's more of a troll ability than anything. This is used for information. This is a tricky one. So she is quite easy, but you also get yourself killed by going into the drone in a bad spot, or you can easily hurt yourself with fall damage by using the grapple hook. So I'm gonna put her in medium, but she's on the easier side of medium. She could go into easy. It's just, yeah, she's kind of right between the two. Yes, I got my finish. I don't even care. Kill me. I don't care. Oh, hello. I don't even care. Suck me off. Okay. We already know he's going in there. He's going into mega hard. Whatever. He just for the fact that this character queues solo, he can only be played solo, but he queues solo into squads. So yeah, obviously the hardest character. He also doesn't have passive abilities. He only has 2 active abilities, one being the ability to blend in with bots, and then the other one is a self-heal. Nothing super impactful in terms of like engaging in a fight or whatever. He's meant to be like a rat character. You run around the map, you loot. You don't really want to take fights unless you're just, you know, doing it for the fun of it. He's obviously very hard, but he doesn't really fit with the rest of the cast. So I guess we could put him in his own little tier.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Okay, the runner tier list for squad. This will be rather quick as I spent a lot of time explaining each character in the previous section. I'm just going to come out saying I don't think there's any S tier squad shells in this game. For me, S tier means that they're slightly overtuned, not broken or overpowered, but a little overtuned to where they stand out really among the crowd and could maybe use a little bit of adjustment. This is a very balanced game when it comes to the shells, I feel. The guns maybe not, you know, the guns may be a little out of whack, but the shells are very much in line. So pretty much all the shells we're going to be talking about are going to fall between A and B tier for the most part. So let's jump into A tier. Obviously Destroyer. This man absolutely cooks. It says something when his prime ability that immobilizes enemy is the weakest part of his entire kit. Just check the gameplay I had for him in the previous section. The second your team gets a down, you just pop shield and run at them with your other teammates behind you, and you will just run through them. You'll force them out of their good positions. You'll take good positions for your team. You'll put them under pressure and make them make mistakes. They'll have 2 people shooting at them while a big wall of light rapidly approaches them and shoves it in their face. Assassin, also A tier. Super easy to play, lots of value just for existing. Well, you do have to hit your buttons, but do provide a lot of value very easily. He can flex even in the supportive role to smoke for revives, hold off angles for picks, smoke so you can push as a team across an area. This character should usually be getting a free kill a lot of the time, or at least facilitating a free kill, free revive, free flank. But let's move on to B tier for now. We're not necessarily done with A tier, but you'll see later. We'll come back to it. We're just going to go ahead and shove our 2 movement queens into B tier. This hurts me as a Thief enjoyer. That's my favorite shell in the entire game. I love Thief to death. But the main issue with them is they don't inherently provide a lot of value for the team. Assassin and Destroyer, or even Triage, as we're going to go over in a bit, Triage Recon kind of thing, they have the potential to provide a lot of power, wing team fights in an incredible way, just by the nature of their kit. Now, I understand Vandal and Thief can do this, but they mostly do it if a good player is playing them. Their kit doesn't provide that on its own. Vandal has insane potential to jump on top of rooftops and flank and do all this stuff, but it's on the player to understand the opportunities for this and the map knowledge and the angles they can take. It's on a good player will do work on Vandal, but it's not necessarily the Vandal that's doing it. It's more of a bit of facilitation with a good player behind it. And the same thing applies with Thief, maybe even to a lesser extent. And before anyone goes reeing in the comments, I'm not diving into any potential glitches or bugs. I know there's some wild stuff the Thief could do right now, but it screams bug to me and it will likely get patched, so I'm just not even going to talk about it. And also, just in case you thought about mentioning it, if you get 3 good people and you all get on Vandal, hopping around a POI, staying on the high ground and annihilating squads is crazy. Triple Vandal squad can go absolutely nuts, but I'm analyzing this more as like an inclusion in a normal team kind of thing. Anyways, on to Triage and Recon, and I think Past Me said it really well, so I will let me take over for a moment. I'm slowly growing to the opinion that I think Triage is overrated. I know he's like really comfy to have on the team because you don't have to burn heals when you get hurt by the bots. But the better you get at not getting hurt by the bots, and the better you get at maintaining your kind of overall health and shields, and then you get things like healing from melee, I think Triage is probably a bit overrated. This is like the major shift, like my prediction, right? I think Triage is going to get worse as the player base gets better, assuming 0 patches. I think Triage is going to get worse as the player base gets better because you're not going to want his quality of life, and people are going to know how to finish fights quicker. Right now, people are really scared and they don't really understand the flow of fights. So you could get away with your really lengthy ultimate res, and the regen from your ability is helpful. But once you start popping like high level meds and stuff, his regen is nothing. And then as the player base gets better, I think Recon's gonna become more prevalent. Thank you, me. But yeah, this is where I think if you're still learning the game, triage is going to provide an absolute crap load of value. You're gonna get hurt by bots all the time, little chip damage, it's very annoying. You're not gonna be as efficient at looting, so you won't have the gray patch kits to kind of fill in the gaps. And you're not gonna have things like melee damage healing you, which is something you can get. So triage, if you're a newer player, definitely goes into A tier, right? On the flip side, Recon is very hard to get value out of if you're a new player. So if you're a new player, the list is gonna look something like this. Recon requires you to be very active. She requires you to be in the fight, in the danger zone, but unlike characters like Vandal, Thief, basically the whole cast, Recon has no way to protect herself. She doesn't have invisibility, she doesn't have movement abilities, she doesn't have smoke, she has no way to protect herself. She has to be in the fight to get the finishes, in the fight to crack people and chase them down. To get the most value out of Recon, you have to be in the danger zone with no way to protect yourself. So newer players, you're not going to see much value, and that'll be more B tier. As you get better at the game, and this is more of a prediction for me, but as the whole player base gets better, we're going to see a flip where Recon moves into A tier and Triage bumps down to B tier. Because as you get better at the game, you're not going to get damaged as much by bots. You're going to have more gray shields that you've looted and things like that to kind of top you up when you do get a little hurt by the bots. And you're going to encounter much better squads with higher coordination that are going to capitalize off of getting it down much quicker. So you're going to get pushed and pressured, or people are going to get thirsted instantly a lot faster, which basically invalidates his ultimate a lot. Because if you get barrel stuffed the minute one of your teammates goes down, you're not going to have the ability to use it. And as you start using higher level meds, his drones become less and less useful. And as you can expect with the Recon, as we get into the point where people become better players and we become better players, pinging the last two members, like a real raw ping on the last two players of a squad if we get a finish, absolutely insane. You can isolate, if they're separated, you can isolate finish. The ultimate is going to get better as players get better because you're going to clear POIs, or you're going to know where the bots are. So if you get 3 pings that are kind of together where bots shouldn't be, you'll know those are players, and you could kind of operate off of that level of information. And I think we're going to see Recon's value go way up, but it requires a lot of finagle to get that value. So we'll see how that goes. The most powerful character in the game, especially in squad play, is clearly Rook, especially considering the fact he is triple S plus tier for squad gameplay, obviously, because he is so powerful. They don't even let him play in squads. You have to play solo with Rook, so that means that is obviously broken in squads and should be treated as such. And on to the runner tier list for solos. As a contradiction to my squad tier list, I actually do think there is one runner who stands out as just a bit too strong in solos. Not like broken or anything, not OP, but just, man, that's good. And that's Assassin. Just like right on the cusp of like A+ to S tier. I have to put him in a standout category. I'd be an idiot not to. And as I've said multiple times in the previous tiers, the dude just has a ton of value. Easy escapes, easy ambushes, and since you're solo, there won't be teammates to bail them out of the ambush. Dude's nuts, easily the best solo character, especially if you're going for combat. We're going to talk about characters that if you just want to avoid combat or do other things, but yeah. If you're playing the game as I think the game's intended to be played, Assassin S tier, clearly. A tier, we'll throw Vandal and Destroyer in there for a lot of the same reasons. But their movement obviously makes them very good at one-on-ones. Boosting into a team or sliding into, boosting into an enemy or sliding into an enemy isn't going to have nearly as much consequence in solos because you're just engaging in the 1v1. You don't have to worry about them having backup. And with the specifics here, Vandal gets A tier mainly because she gets to choose every fight she takes. No one's as fast as you. You have insane heat mitigation and insane speed with your ultimate, meaning if you don't like the fight you're in, you can just leave. If you want to take a fight, if you want to chase somebody down, you can just do that because nobody can outrun you. You get to pick every fight you take with Vandal, which is really good for a solo environment. Likewise with Destroyer, his ultimate is really good in a PvE sense where you can kind of mow through some bots if you get caught by a couple of the elites, which does happen in this game. His ultimate will help you chew through them. Good panic button. But his shield is very good for just free kills. Especially if you make the person panic by running at them. They'll just shoot at you and dump their whole mag. And then after they dump their mag, you drop your shield and kill them while they're reloading. And if that doesn't work on them, you could still back up, create space, drop your shield, and take the normal gunfight. It allows you to transition between cover easily, back up from them, advance on them, and just control the pace of a fight in a 1v1 with the shield's crazy. All right, B tier, we got Triage and Thief. There's going to be some angry people wondering why Triage isn't like S tier or A tier. And it's mainly just because his ultimate doesn't really do anything. Okay, it's just an EMP. If you try to EMP somebody with this guy, you're just going to get shot and killed. But he's very, very comfy to play. Now, both of these are here in B tier because it's more of a flavor tier. You know, do you want to go specifically looting and grabbing the good items and getting out? Thief is great for that. Absolutely great. This doesn't mean she's bad at all just because she's in the B tier. If you didn't watch the other sections, you may have missed the fact that Thief is my favorite shell in the game. So trust me, I'm not a Thief hater. And Triage can be good for taking fights. You know, you pop his trade ability and take an exchange. It can be very favorable, especially if you get a little bit of healing. But it just doesn't offer that extra oomph or power that the other ones do or control. But very comfy. You can run through, especially if you're on a free sponsored kit with Triage. Bro, you don't gotta worry about taking damage from the bots. You just heal it up, do your little loot run, be very comfy, very simple, and you'll be happy. C tier. Recon. You should have seen this coming. One of his passives literally doesn't work in solo because finishing an enemy isn't going to ping his teammates if he doesn't have teammates. And no one's going to ping you in solo because why are they pinging you? Who are they pinging you for? Themselves? So one of his passives just doesn't work. I will admit his other passive is fairly good for taking 1v1s and isolating though. His ultimate, we talked about this multiple times. If you ult in the middle of a POI and get 9 pings, and you're not going to be able to even focus on like a cluster of 3 because it's solo. So there could be a solo anywhere in that mix. And if you're taking a 1v1 fight, you most likely know where they're at anyways, so ulting and pinging them, Rook as a solo, obviously triple F minus tier down here. He's such a bad solo runner that they had to throw him in with squads. That's how aside from the meme, it's pointless in rating Rook. He's solo, but he queues into squads. And he gets only free kits and has 2 abilities, no passives. Like he's a special snowflake. He doesn't get rated with the rest of them, but we'll meme him. Oh, there's a rat. Yeah, guys, I know this has been a long video, so we'll just kind of end it here. Feel free to bookmark or save this video for future reference. Tell me how stupid and wrong I am in the comment section. Make sure to call me an idiot, and I'll call you daddy in return because, daddy, I love being abused and told how stupid and wrong my opinions are. Have a mother quacking great day, and I'll see you guys on Tau City Runners.